Hello viewers and welcome to Barnsley Focus, Barnsley Local Television's news magazine programme. I'm Bob Britton and I'm standing in today for our usual presenter Jane Edrich, who's unfortunately indisposed. Our programme topics for this week are plans for housing development in Barnsley, what permission for fracking might mean for Barnsley's future. Now, we all know the country urgently needs to build more houses, particularly houses that families on low incomes can afford to rent. But building houses takes up land, and when that land is part of an existing green belt, it usually leads to objections. Extensive new housing demands careful planning. As part of the previous government's national planning framework, local authorities were asked in 2008 to make an assessment of land available for housing in their areas over a 15-year period. The Housing Availability Assessment for Barnsley, which was undertaken in 2013 by the consultant Peter Brett, indicated that the borough could make available 41,600 new homes by 2026. It proposed using sites which had already been built on for 25,000 of them, with a further 16,400 on land that is currently in the green belt. Now, if all these sites were used, the population of the borough would rise by 70%. To about 390,000. The majority of these new homes would be located in Royston, Mapplewell and Staincross, Dodworth, Birdwell, Hoyland and Penistone, but almost all parts of Barnsley would be affected, including areas of the Dearne such as Goldthorpe and Thurnscoe. To get an idea of what this might entail, we took a look at one of the designated sites at Lee Lane, Royston, to find out. This area of about 4.5 square miles of farmland, which is bordered to the north by Lee Lane on the B6428 in Royston, has been designated as available for housing. On the north side of Royston, south of Bleakley Lane, is a second designated area of similar size. If these two sites were fully developed, the built-up area of Royston would be roughly doubled, with huge implications both for the present residents and the new ones. Would the community of Royston survive such a change? If it is to maintain its character, what new facilities and infrastructure, roads, schools, health services, transport, shops, green spaces, sports and leisure facilities, what would Royston need to provide for a doubling of population in a space of 10 to 15 years? Of course, these sites might not all be fully utilised. Only parts of them might be built on, or even none at all. But the same questions will apply in nearly all areas of Barnsley where local communities are rapidly expanded. What infrastructure will be necessary? Will the expansion bring extra jobs with it? Housing land availability assessments deal with questions of available space. The development of new communities is a very different question. Barnsley's council may be reflecting on the need for more housing and business development, but it has at the same time agreed to consider applications from companies for fracking licences. The government's keen to encourage the use of shale gas in the UK and has offered local authorities financial incentives to grant licences. So what actually is fracking, you may ask? So we asked Alan Jones of the Barnsley Anti-fracking campaign to explain.
To the best of my knowledge, drill deep into the rock and then drill horizontally and using toxic chemicals and water, they build up a pressure and blast the rock in order to crack it. Now, there's no way they're going to convince me that they can control how far them cracks run. them cracks hit the water table, those toxic chemicals are in your water supply. That's not a good idea. I'm absolutely disgusted with the local authorities for even considering licensing fracking in this area. Barnsley's a beautiful place. To my understanding, they're going to hit the Dearne Valley and all of Greenmoor around Thurgoland, and a lot of our green spaces are going to be destroyed, disrupted. Extra traffic. It's difficult to comprehend why anybody would want to spoil such a beautiful area. If people are really concerned about fracking, they firstly write to their MPs and tell them the concerns. They write to the local council. There's plenty of marches and protest meetings that they can go and take part in. The next one I know of is in the Dearne Valley at Old Moor Nature Reserve on the 25th at 1:30, 25th of June at 1:30. Go along and find out about it. You can join the Green Party if you wish to, simply by going online and looking on the Facebook pages or on the website, and there is an application there to join. Barnsley has its own Green Party, which meet at the YMCA once a month.
Given the controversial nature of fracking, BLTV asked Barnsley Council for clarification of its policy on fracking and its likely reaction to applications from commercial companies for licences to undertake test drilling. The council gave us the following statement. Barnsley Council does not have an overall policy position on fracking, as we have a duty to treat any planning application objectively and to abide by due process as and when it is brought to the Council's attention. The government has published the licences for shale gas exploration, and Barnsley is covered by the government's licensing areas. Any companies licensed to explore for shale gas within the Council's area will need to obtain the necessary permission prior to commencing any work. In addition, in order to maximise transparency, we intend to publish all written correspondence relating to shale gas proposals on our website, as we already do for planning. Until next time, when hopefully Jane Edrich will be back.